What's up, guys? My name's Justin Nessie. I'm here with Max Steinecker, and today we're making a QB tier list. The tiers, they're pretty self-explanatory. The youngins, just as the only one I'll explain, is it's like the guys that we're just not sure on yet. So that's pretty simple. And then the way we're going to do this is one of us picks a quarterback, puts it in the tier. If the other one agrees, we move on. If they don't, we discuss and try to find a good place for them. So with that being said, Max, you can go first.
Cool. Hello, everyone. Let's get down into this. I'll start off. Let's go easy. I'll go elite. Tom Brady.
Elite, the GOAT, no arguments for me.
Not much to explain here. The greatest of all time. He shouldn't be anywhere else.
Yeah, all right, I agree. All right, I'm gonna go with the guy that I thought was gonna be really bad, but he actually turned out being not bad at all. In Josh Allen, I'm gonna put him in the youngins. I think he had a good first year. Got to see some more from him, but I honestly like what I saw.
Yep, I would have said a year ago today, I would have said he would have been in the trash bag, but
Yeah.
actually somewhat impressive. Young, and I agree.
All right.
For my next guy, I'm gonna go Ben Roethlisberger,
Ben
and I'm gonna put him in near elite.
All right, I'd
I
agree.
don't think he's that top tier anymore. I still think he's a very good quarterback that can win a lot of games, capable of Super Bowl, but he's depending on what's around him now.
Yeah, and led the league in picks. Also led the league in passing yards. But they also threw the most times. So I think he's right up there within that nearly elite type thing.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna take another one. I'm gonna go actually with Case Keenum, one of the more uncontroversial players you could ever think of. He goes right in average.
Yep,
Just
I agree.
he does his job. He doesn't do it exceptionally. He has bad games. He has good games. It's
Yep, he might be the definition of average.
I agree.
Yep. I'm going to throw a guy who I wanted and I think everyone thought was going to be higher than this, but I'm going to throw him in average. I'm going to put Kirk Cousins in average.
Yep. So last year, I predicted the Vikings to be pretty good. I thought they'd be one of the top. I thought they'd get a first round bye. I thought they had it all, but Kirk Cousins wasn't good. The line wasn't good. A lot of things didn't work, but Kirk Cousins definitely did not live up to expectations.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I would agree with that. Um, let's go. I'm gonna go with franchise, and I'm gonna say that Cam Newton is just he's a franchise guy. There's been years where he's been at that nearly elite. I mean, he has an MVP, so you could even say he was elite, but year to year, I'd say he's just a consistent like franchise guy.
Yep. I think he used to be probably elite, then he fell to near elite, and then he fell to franchise. And if he continues at the rate, he's going to be slowly going above average because
Yeah,
he has way too many turnovers, not consistent enough.
I agree.
All right, for my next guy, I'll go with Kyler Murray, number 1 overall pick. I'm going to put him in the youngins.
Yep, I agree. Ultimate boomer bust guy, in my opinion. There's
Too early to tell. I think he fell into a good system, but Cardinals roster isn't great. At least he's got David Johnson, but we'll see.
all right, all right. I'd also agree with that. All right, I'm gonna choose the first trash bag of the day, and I think it's gonna be
Interesting.
Andy Dalton. Obviously, there were
Yep.
years where people might even a little bit ago, people might argue that Dalton was elite-ish, like when the Bengals made the playoffs a couple years in a row. But just overall, he does as good as the guys around him. If he didn't
Yeah.
have AJ Green all this time, I don't know what would have happened to his career. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's very good.
hmm And I'm going to play off of that. I'm going to go another trash bag, a guy who probably could have been considered near elite, maybe elite a couple of years ago, Eli Manning.
Yeah, and one of the steeper declines of
Yeah,
like a guy that will probably end up in the Hall of Fame that I have ever
seriously.
seen. Yeah, so
Just does not have it anymore. He's done.
I agree.
Over there.
Probably shouldn't be starting, but when the other choice is Daniel Jones,
Yeah.
you'll see. All right, I'm gonna go another easy one. I'm gonna go Drew Brees to elite. Him
Yep.
and Tom Brady, they're old, but they keep doing it. It doesn't make sense, but it's I can't explain it. Still elite.
Yep. No question there. All right, here's one that I think we'll disagree on, and that's near elite. I'm going to put Patty Mahomes in there. I understood he won the MVP, but that was off 1 year, and that was with the trifecta of Kelsey, Hunt, and Tyreek Hill. Let's see what he's got. Let's see if he gives me another year of that, then I would throw him elite. But I think he's got one more year.
Yeah, so I personally probably put him in elite, but I understand the nearly elite, and I definitely think that he's going to prove it this year. So I'm fine with putting him in the nearly elite because I think you're not an elite quarterback off 1 year. So
yeah.
I do agree with that part of it. So I will leave him in the nearly elite, but I think he is about as close as you can get. About as close as you can get. I'm gonna go with. Let's see here. I went with Drew Brees last time. I'm gonna go with another easy elite one. I'm gonna go A-Rod and do elite.
Yep.
Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he was worse last year for sure. Like there's no arguing with that. But I still think he's up there.
Still elite. I agree.
Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. This next one, franchise. Have we had a franchise one yet?
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. Okay. I'm gonna go with Jimmy Garoppolo. I think a little quiet. Not many people thinking about him just because he didn't play last year. But I think he's on a very good team this year with very well coached, and I think they signed him to that huge contract for a reason. Still a lot to prove, but I do think he's a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, so I definitely think he's near like the bottom of the franchise tier because of the amount of starts. It's like 12 or something, I believe. But I mean, that 5-0, the 5-0 stretch to end the year in San Francisco. I mean, he always played good when he was still in New England. I mean, I'm very okay with him being up there in the franchise spot. All right, I'm gonna take another trash bag. Actually, we're gonna go Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco, good one.
Yes, sir. People did argue that he was elite at some point, but I was never on that train. But just now, not very good. I mean, we'll see how long he holds off Drew Lock in Denver. So we'll see.
All right, I'm gonna go Dak Prescott. I'm gonna throw him in the average.
Dak Prescott average.
I think he's really had his success based off of the guys around him. I don't think he's a horrible quarterback. I think he can get the job done, but he's had one of the top 5 O-lines, top 5 running backs in the league for a while now, and he finally got Amari Cooper, and we saw how much his game improved because he had that receiver. So I'm not going to throw him in above average just because without a decent receiver and even with a great running game, he's been
Yeah, and I'd agree with all that. That second year when Zeke was hurt, he was way worse. Like,
wow, yeah.
Not even close worse. So, I mean, I think he's right there. He can still climb, he can still get up there, but right now, I got to put him there. All right, I'm going to go with another nearly elite with Andrew Luck.
Yep.
I think he had a bounce back year last year. Obviously, was amazing. Right back to what people hoped he would be. Some people thought he was kind of done after the injuries. So it was good to see him back out there. And I think he's super close to elite also.
Yeah, what he did with that Colts roster last year was damn impressive.
Yeah.
So he definitely deserves to be up there.
I agree.
Next one, I'm going to go throw him in the youngins, Dwayne Haskins. I thought he was the best quarterback in the draft. Bias aside, but I think he could be very good. You just haven't seen anything from him.
Yeah. I think Dwayne 100% has the highest floor of the draft. What you're getting with Dwayne Haskins. As I said, Kyler Murray, he could be Russell Wilson, he could be Johnny Manziel. You have no clue what's going to happen with him. So I think Haskins super safe. Love the pick for the Redskins, and obviously youngins category. I'm gonna go with a guy that is pretty. I'd probably put him in the slightly below average part of the average, slightly below average category, and that's Marcus Mariota. He's pretty close to trash bag. I mean, he's not been good. He was a very high pick, him and Jameis Winston. So.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and play off of that. I'm gonna go Jameis Winston, the same as that category. slightly below average. Way too inconsistent, way too many turnovers. I mean, there's been points in his career where he's been good, but he's just way too inconsistent for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All right, I'm gonna go with the first above average. It's the only category that doesn't have one, and I'm gonna say Mitchell Trubinsky is above average.
Okay.
I think he took a step forward last year. I'm still not sold on him, but I think he can. I think he can do it. Like I think he has the tools. Like we'll see. As I said, you got to keep getting better, but we'll see.
Yep. All right, this next one I want to open up for a little discussion, argument. Would you throw him in average or above average? And that is Nick Foles.
Wow. So actually, when I was considering Trubinsky for above average, Foles is the other guy that I thought about putting in there, and I think Foles is above average.
Yeah.
I mean, he had the one season where it was insane, like the 27-2 interception touchdown ratio.
Mm-hmm.
But I think overall, I mean, he won that Super Bowl. He can win you. He can win you games like more than I think those other guys can. I think I trust Nick Foles more than Kirk Cousins and Case Keenum. Like not by a lot, but a little bit.
The only reason I left it open for discussion was when Foles was really good, or he had his time, he was playing on the best team in the NFL. It kind of goes with Case Keenum. The Vikings were damn good that year, and he kind of carried the weight.
Yeah. Case Keenum really was good that year.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
All right, so I'm gonna go with you actually might disagree with me on this one, and I think a lot more people will disagree with me on this one. Jared Goff, I'm gonna put him in just above average.
Really?
I know you'll probably say franchise. A lot of people are gonna say franchise, but I'm not sold on him yet. One of the best coaches in the league, one of undoubtedly most talented rosters in the league, and he still hasn't been amazing. Obviously he was really bad the rookie year, and he's taken insane steps forward since then. I need to see one more year of growth and getting better before I'd say franchise, but I get why people say it. He played in the Super Bowl,
I see your point there. Great team, great system, very simple for him, great running game, good weapons all around. But to make it to the Super Bowl, I think people have a bad taste in their mouth because of the Super Bowl performance.
Yeah, that was also bad.
Make it to the Super Bowl, I think you could be thrown in the franchise. But you're right. We saw what happened with Nick Foles. Yeah. We wouldn't be considering him a franchise guy, would we?
No. All right. I think you go with leaving him in above average?
Yeah, go ahead. Give him one more year.
All right. Fantastic. All right, you're up.
All right, I'm going to go with my personal last elite guy, Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Things he's been able to do with the rosters he has had these past 3 to 4 years has been quite remarkable. I mean, things he can extend with his legs, and he's just a great quarterback. He's got to be an elite guy.
Yeah, spot on. Just one of the top. I think those are the top 4. I don't think I'm gonna argue for anyone else in elite. So I think, as I said, I think Mahomes is close. I think Luck is close, but I think it's just those 4 right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But let's see here. Let's go with a guy that I love personally, and that's Deshaun Watson.
Ooh, okay.
I think he's franchise, but I'm tempted to put him in nearly elite because I think when he's on.
Really?
You remember the game against the Seahawks where he just lit it up. He when he is hot, he's fun to watch.
He's very fun to watch. You have him in franchise nearly. I have him more above or franchise to above average.
Yeah, and
I think the best availability is availability. Can he stay healthy? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's kind of where Luck is, where he's fallen down a little bit. And to me, I think Watson goes from franchise to a little bit less just because can he stay durable? Is he going to be able to stay durable running that much?
Yeah, I mean, and I understand that completely.
So I think we could settle in the middle at franchise.
Oh yeah, franchise for sure. Yeah, franchise is good. All right.
Okay, I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford. I'm going to throw him in above average.
Above average. All right. Yeah, I would agree with Stafford. I mean, he's a franchise guy, you want him to be a franchise guy, but when you just lose as much as he does, it's almost hard to call him that. This is going to be his 10th year in the league, and he's not. Besides throw for yards, he really hasn't accomplished much.
Yeah.
So I mean,
you look at his stats, and it's kind of no question you throw him in franchise.
Yeah.
And then you reevaluate and you look at the actual field of play, and it's like
they
God,
lose
I
a
want to
lot.
put him there, but I can't. Yeah.
They just lose a little too much for me. So yeah, I agree with above average. I'm gonna go with the guy that kind of like Deshaun Watson. I would have him in nearly elite, and he might have an MVP if not for his injuries, and that's Carson Wentz. I'm gonna put him in franchise.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's really good, but the injuries. I mean, it's becoming like a thing. Like it's
like a problem.
Yeah, it's 2 years in a row. Nick Foles in the playoffs. Like that's not what you want, even regardless if you're the Eagles.
Yep. I would keep him in franchise because the Eagles obviously believe in him, and they're the ones seeing him every day. So I'm going to trust him, and if they believe him that much, then he's still a franchise guy, I believe. All right. My turn. Let's go. I'm going to go with Derek Carr average.
Derek Carr average? I would completely agree with this.
I think he was trending up for a little bit, and now we've kind of seen a bigger sample size of him. And, man, he's just been very unimpressive from what I wanted to see from him. So I'm going to throw him an average. I think he can play well sometimes, but he's not going to be anywhere near franchise.
I'd agree with that. All right, so just to make this a little simpler, I think so. A lot of the guys left are young guys, so I'm thinking we just throw some of them in the youngins category right now. Would you agree with Drew Lock in the youngins category? All right. Would you agree with Sam Darnold there?
Sam Darnold.
Easy. Josh Rosen. I think he's still there, but then there's two young guys that I don't want to put in the youngins, and I want to see if you agree, and that's Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield.
Ooh, okay, so I'll start. I'll go with Lamar Jackson. I'm going to put him in average.
All right.
I think the things he can do with his legs, plus we have a small sample size, and he had success last year, but I can't put him anywhere near above that because we've seen it time and time again. These NFL defenses are going to catch on, and within 2 years, who knows if he'll be in the league.
Completely agree. And then the other one, Baker Mayfield. I think I'm going to put him. I think Baker Mayfield has proved that he is an above average quarterback. Yep. I mean, that Browns roster, like obviously they got a lot better this offseason, but that Browns roster that played last year was not good still. I mean, they were the team coming off 0-16. So like they were better, but he did some amazing things. Obviously, you break Peyton Manning's record, you do all those stuff. I think he's kind of proven himself. He's kind of here to stay. Like I don't think he's gonna flame out. Like regardless.
No, I love Baker. Love his swagger, love his game, and then you add those weapons on. I don't think he's moving. If anywhere, it's going up.
All right. To you, 3 left. Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ooh, all right. This gets tougher for me. I'm gonna go open to discussion. Matt Ryan. I'll throw him in near elite.
Oh wow.
Bottom of the barrel, near elite. Probably the last one I'd put in there, but the things he's done in his career has been very impressive last year. Obviously, not counting them, but I still think he's a very good quarterback. You could say franchise too. That's a tough one for me. I'm right in the middle.
So my thoughts here are that I was going to put Phillip Rivers in nearly elite, and then keep Matt Ryan in franchise.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I had him switched, written down, but you're probably right. Phillip Rivers has done it longer. The reason I think I had Ryan up in near elite was because he's won more. Phillip always gets stuck on the Patriots.
I mean, honestly, part of being an elite quarterback's winning. I think I'm going to agree with you here. I think that Matt Ryan made it to a Super Bowl, and like obviously his team was talented, but it wasn't like a super talent. Like it wasn't like a team where like it was carrying him. I mean, he also won the MVP, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah. I agree with that. Phillip Rivers, no MVPs, no real playoff success. I mean, yeah. I agree with that.
The big metric. Last guy.
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
This one, I'm not going to put him in trash because he wins games when he gets chances to play. I mean, he's not going to, for a long period of time, I don't think he's anything more than that. But if you can stick him in there and he can fill a good hole, I think he's the best backup quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw him an average.
I agree he's an average because some games he's franchise and some games he's trash bag. And
Yeah.
it is.
Yep.
And like he might be the most week to week variation that like you can even get. So
Yeah.
like yeah, average is he ends up in average, even though all the time he's either above it or below it. he
Yes.
usually ends up in average. All right, guys.
That's right.
Well, that is our tier list. I think it's got a pretty good like distribution. There's the most average, and then it goes kind of the other way, except for trash bag. But there's not a lot of like trash quarterbacks in the NFL. Like the
Starters.
fact that the fact that you're here, you're good enough. Like I don't know, and we're Steelers fans, so we hate on Andy Dalton and Joe Flacco. You know, but,
a
like
little biased, but yeah.
tiny bit. They're also not very good, and that's also true. They both were good.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for watching, everyone. Like, subscribe. Sure, we'll be back soon with another video.
Yep. See ya.